Okay, so we need 21 bolts of spider. So getting that back from that far across the map, because you know where the silk spiders are is literally like on the opposite side of the map from London. So getting that much spider silk across with our hold would be not impossible, but tricky. Because remember that we need to have enough fuel and supplies to get back after, you know, giving up those over half of our hold. And unfortunately, it's not like our hold is ever really fully empty. Although we do have some extra stuff in it at the moment. I know we're holding on to that. For somebody, I want to say it's... Okay, I know it's one of the officers, and I'm terrible at remembering their names. So, apologies on that. It's the officer that we're trying to save from amnescence. I think needs Z soup. I'll check that, but I think that's what we're saving it for. But it's just, we also have like the Silvering Aquarium, the Anatomical Cabinet, the Monstrous Almanac, like, you know, those are always taking up 3 space. And the Shrine to Stone, so 4 space just on those. So even if we dumped our empty mirror catch boxes, which we have been making a fair bit of money off of, even if we dumped those or sold them, and the mushroom wine, and the Firkin and Prisoner's Honey, and the approved romantic literature, which was one of the 3 items that guy would accept if we decided, no, we're going to do spider silk, and just got rid of all those, we would still have, at best, because I want to keep the Z soup, I really don't want to get rid of that, we would have, at best, 5 spaces taken up by that, and then 21 for the spider silk. So 26 of our 40 hold taken up. That only leaves 14 spaces left for fuel and supplies, which would probably be enough to get us back, but oh my lord, that would be tight. So maybe once we have a bigger ship. But on the subject of that, didn't I buy a better engine? I could have sworn up and down that I bought a better engine before we stopped. I know I was at least talking about it, but I could have sworn. The way this game saves is frustrating in some ways. Like, you'll notice it saves a lot when I'm making decisions and stuff, so I assumed if I bought a dang engine, it would have saved, but maybe it didn't. And the problem is I can't manually save because that turns off the permadeath mode, which is frustrating. I really wish these would include more details on like what I was supposed to do, because some of these, if you don't remember what the quest was, it's like, yeah, I remember this conversation, but I don't remember where she wanted us to go. And it's like, why is that not just here? I don't know. I'm like a broken record at this point with this quest journal, but once again, definitely my biggest complaint with the game. And it's like, yeah, I guess I could watch back my own videos, but I shouldn't have to. Like, if I was just playing this like most people do, I assume most of you don't record all your own playthroughs to watch back. So, you know, if I didn't have that, like, really, what would I do? I know we've visited most of the places for this one. I'm trying to think if there are any left that aren't the frickin' surface port. Because I know we've been to Khan's Shadow. I'm not certain if we've been to the Chelenate. I think we've been to the Isle of Cats, Wither, and Irem. Honestly, I'm kind of just thinking we'll eventually go there for port reports if nothing else, and if we see an option to search, we'll search. We may eventually go up to the surface, but I don't know if we'll go just for that. It's a bit of an ordeal. And I know that there's something that we need in the Chelenate for him, but like we just don't have the items, and I once again I can't remember what we need in the Chelenate. At this point, I should honestly just probably keep a friggin' notebook and just write things down. I'm just not used to having to do that in any but, you know, really old games. But I may just have to do that. Honestly, it's probably a bit late for this captain. At this point, I'd be better off just rewatching my own videos and noting things down. But you know, when I eventually mess up and this captain dies and we're basically forced to start with almost a clean slate, you get to carry some stuff over, but not much. I may just keep a freaking notebook. Okay, yeah, it's a brisk campaigner. I'll talk to her, because at least with your crew, you can usually talk to them to figure out what they need. I just don't know if we can ask her, like, hey, where do we still need to check? Bill just brought a notebook. Thank you, Bill. Once again, probably just a bit late for this captain, but might be worth just doing that. And I know the Tireless Mechanics quest, like, we can't do his until we have a bigger boat. Okay, maybe it says here. Oh, thank you, it does. It's weird how it stores this stuff. But, okay, we haven't looked in Port Carnelian, and then the other one is friggin' Naples. Okay, well, we're checking Port Carnelian first. Who wants to bet that it's almost guaranteed to be the last place you check, which, for most people, is probably going to be Naples. Well, I actually have two things pointing us to Mount Calmerston, both the Admiralty Commission and the Wistful Devil-S. So we should maybe head that way, but of course we also have that quest pointing us to Port Carnelian. Oh, hey, I finally found where we can get this, because I knew we needed things for the principals. Oh, we needed a flute core for that. Well, we'll have to get another one. Oh me, oh my, that is kind of scary. I might wait until we have a bigger boat, because we very, 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 very nearly did not survive getting our first flute core. That one's probably going to involve Station 3. Between the picture kind of looking like Station 3 from, you know, the tiny little blur of it that my poor eyes can see at this distance, and just the fact that they deal with, like, heart matter kind of tells me that we'd probably get that. There. And of course we want to throw more Blimmingans around so we can go get one with this Birkin of prisoner's honey that we have if we go to the Utter Shroom. Again, someone did ask if, like, if the tobacconist's impatience would increase the longer we're away. The honest answer is that I don't know. Because we don't have what we need for him, I'm kind of hoping that if we just stay away, the impatience won't go up until I'm hopefully ready to bring him more stuff. But I don't know. It could be that we'll go back and things will just immediately explode because it's been so long. Anyway, yeah, I know that we wanted to buy an engine. It's something I at least wanted to do, and I'm very confused that, like, I'm double checking our hole that we don't just have an engine sitting in here that I'm forgetting about, but we don't. And also one of the biggest points of getting a bigger ship is to eventually end up with the Serpentine. And the Serpentine, because again, you can see it because you can sell it here, but you can, you know, hover over this just to see its stats. So even though we don't have it yet, we can see that. Its engine power is only 1,800, but that fuel efficiency, hearts and veils, to me at least, generally makes it worth it over, even though it does not have as much power as these two engines, and it certainly doesn't have as much power as this thing. But, oh my lord. I don't even want to know how much fuel that thing, especially the compulsion, goes through. So yeah, it's like I don't really want to get something that has more power because we're ultimately going to be using that engine the Serpentine when we get it. But we need something bigger than what we currently have, because what we currently have is the Elderly Steeple engine with only 800 power, and once we get a bigger ship, like, we would be going so slow. So yeah, just because of the power to price ratio, and just the fact that we don't really want the Serpentine to be a frickin' downgrade of all things, we're probably gonna go with the... Bill, how do you pronounce that? I know who the name refers to, but I can never... Boadicea? Yeah, I've heard it pronounced Boudica as well, and I have no idea which one is correct. But yeah, this captain's going to be a disorganized mess, sadly, which, I mean, it makes sense. We have the poet background, right? The next captain is going to actually be keeping a notebook so that I don't have to go through this, like, 10+ minute familiarization process every time I come back. Okay, yeah, you need to go to Frostfound. So we have some stuff heading up north, mostly, other than Port Carnelian. Because we need to go to Mount Palmerston, and apparently he needs to go to Frostfound. And we'll probably find out that we don't have something that he needs, because I know the magician needs to go here, but we just do not have the mirrors to do it. We probably need to go find an abyss that gives us a bonus to mirrors, because right now we're taking a penalty to mirrors for, I believe, a fails bonus, which normally I would prefer. But in this instance, if we swapped to a mirrors boosting abyss, that would almost double our mirrors, which might take this up to, if we're lucky, a roughly 40% chance of going well, which, you know, not great, but better than 19% running an Eldritch game through a probably non-Euclidean mind. Seriously, the way Bill processes things, I occasionally wonder if he's just a very low-key, like, cosmic horror. And then for the brisk campaigner, yeah, we need Zoop for her. We need more drowning pearls, only a couple more at least, and they don't take cargo space. And then we also need muter salt, which we do know how to get, at least. We can go up to Wither to trade Z-stories for it, but I guess I figured I wasn't going to bother until I had the drowning pearls, which we get from the Fathom King's hold. Okay. So, having put all of that together, we need to visit several places. We might want to check back in with Station 3, because we know we need heart materials, so we kind of just need to keep helping them from time to time, and eventually, hopefully, we'll figure that out. We also need to stop by Nook, and we need to stop by Port Carnelian. Those are the only things really pointing us south right now, are those two things. And of course, we could stop by Rosegate to at least make a note of what we need and see if the tobacconist is freaking out. Because I'm going to have to actually go there just to figure out what we need, which is kind of important. So, there is some stuff pulling us south, and of course we would visit Barchus and stuff. And we could go by Estival and the Utter Shroom. However, on the northern half, we could still stop by Station 3, because that's not too far south. We could try to get all the way out to Savior's Rocks, but if we want to haul 21 spider silk in this ship this size, that's basically going to be all we can do. We'll have to, like, go straight there and then come straight back. Or we'll have to, like, make it to be, like, the end of the trip where we, like, go up north and then go swing down through Savior's Rocks and then come back. Point is, like, we need to head back immediately if we're carrying that much crap. Let's see. We could, of course, stop by Pigmode Isle and kick things along there. No point really in going to Consulary or Consheart unless we need something, or we're delivering coffee, which we won't be in this case. And let's see, we need to stop by the Chapel of Lights. We need to stop by Mount Palmerston. Well, actually, I don't think we need to stop by the Chapel of Lights right now, but we may as well if we're there. But we need to go to Mount Palmerston, and we need to go... Also may as well stop by the Undercrow if we're passing by, but we need to go to Frostfound. By the time we've gone all the way out there, we may as well go to Irem, and then stop by the Chelinate to at least see what's happening there, because there's things we need to get, and I need to write down what we need. And then if we're going to go all the way out there, then at that point, yeah, maybe we would be ready to stop by Savior's Rocks. Okay, yeah, we're going to do a trip to the north this time. I suppose since we are vaguely planning to visit the spiders, we could, like, inspire these guys to like go on a tour with us to go meet some spiders. And by meet some spiders, I mean probably be food for spiders. But we're not going to do that in part because these stories we need them for too many other things like the muter salt. Not to mention, eventually, for our ambition, we're going to need a metric ton of them. So yeah, we're not going to bother with that. At one time, in an earlier patch of the game, you were able to just buy tomb colonists here. Now you can only sell them here. And they got rid of it, supposedly because it, like, the trip, or you could buy them at London and sell them here, something like that. But either way, they got rid of it because it was too easy of a trading route, they felt. So, but it's just created some problems where it's like, great, if you want to do the spiders thing, where it used to just cost some echoes, now you have to spend a crap ton of stories. I don't think they thought that decision through, is my point. I think it made some things a little too punishing. They should have just honestly made the tomb colony. They should have just made, if they thought it was too easy of a trading route, they should have just made selling the tomb colonists here versus buying them in London, like, either have no profit or have less profit. Getting rid of the ability to buy them was not a good call. Yeah, can you tell how much faster we're using fuel with this new engine? That's another reason I didn't really want to get a bigger one than this. This was the smallest one that I felt could reasonably be expected to move the bigger ship that we want at a half-decent pace. God, we're in between a Lifeberg and Mount Nomad. We're in between a Lifeberg and Mount Nomad. This is not good. Oh, please don't see me. Please don't see me. Please don't see me. This is why we have veils. Nope, nope, not far enough away yet. No lights for us. Maybe not on the other side of the island. Okay, before we pick up the Wistful Devil-esque, because I think this is going to be our last chance to perform that independent verification, and we want to get mirrors anyway to try to help the magician. So, just because things have happened to line up. Now, I can't remember which abyss does which. So, Bill, when we visit the abysses, please write down what they do. That is something I actually want to know. But there is an abyss literally right there. So we're going to hope that it's a mirrors increasing one. And if not, we're just going to have to visit more of them until we find one. Alright, forsake the rite of feasting. We have to do that first. So... oh, we actually had iron up. So it's our damage that dropped, not our veils. Whoopsies, mixed up the stats, sorry. But still, I mean, more iron is obviously great too, because now our damage is down, but we gained 10 mirrors back from that. This is one that increases hearts. So, Bill, the Abyss Duggan's Maw increases hearts. Probably should have checked Kant's Abyss on the way up here, but I didn't. However, there's also the Chongi Rift and the Eliphas Abyss, you know, near the Undercrow. So we're gonna check them real quick. They wouldn't require going too far they wouldn't require going too far out of our way. So yeah, we're gonna swing down to Anth, get their port report, check out that abyss, see where we're at. Hopefully one of them increases mirrors. If not, there are a couple around Irem and Scrimshander. There's like 3 kind of out this way. That would be further than I want to go, but within some amount of reason. Okay, this is the one we had before. Okay, that increases iron. Let me give you the name of the abyss first, Bill. Because it's not called the Abyss of Pomegranates. That's just what this ritual is. And I need to reference it by its map name. Oh, dang it. I didn't mean to hit dive deeper. I meant to... not, but we succeeded the hearts challenge, so I guess it doesn't matter. I meant to go back up, but okay. Your helmsman's response is unjustifiably foul-mouthed, but she assents. Your submarine's pinprick of light shines onto a cliffside, illuminating only a spot of a vast inverted cathedral, a fathomless church. The walls of the chasm are as abundant as a garden. Rippling lawns of Posidinia, copses of shadowed kelp, garlands of coral, pulsating with tubular sponges, and here a vine bearing melon-sized nodules the shape of pomegranates. Yes. Okay, there's another thing that can happen here. You just need to succeed the hearts challenge every time. So if we're going to try to do a string of these, we'll actually want that hearts increasing one to make that dice roll that I just did by complete frickin' accident less chancy. Found a use for hearts. Okay, so apparently if we perform the abyssal rituals in the correct order, we'll get a discovery. And this one appears to be the second one because we need approaching her ladyship 2 and approaching her ladyship no more than 2. So depending on whether it starts at 0 or at 1, this is either the second or the third one. But yes, I meant to just depart. And what was the odds on that? We got a 42% roll. Yeah, we're gonna need more hearts to actually do that. That was very dumb, but it worked out. Okay, so this abyss is the Elephos Abyss. I'm just gonna leave it there so that you can actually spell it. Hopefully, maybe. I have no idea what he's writing. It might just be chicken scratches when I see it, and I may need him to just decode it. Oh, God. Why am I doing this to myself? Okay. Well, now we need to go find another abyss because that one still didn't raise what we needed. Yeah, that one raised iron. Which is a good one. Don't get me wrong, it's the one we had for the longest time. But it's just not the one we need right now. Ooh, we got 5 lamentable relics. Cool.